I got the
Yeah, I got the
Yamaha
same,
Power
dude.
Tuner app. So Andrew, you're Blue Crew, and I always like to break news on the story. You're so the rumor is you're going to quads,
Yeah, maybe.
because
I'll go
yeah,
anywhere.
because Pablo was hearing that you were trying to take his American quad ride. Because I'm all into all the rally rumors and stuff like this. I'm on top of the point. So
You heard it here.
yeah, you heard it here first.
Maybe I can be teammates with
You might
Pablo.
want to call him.
Are you going to do something like Tom Brady? You know, everybody's going to announce you retired, but he's going to come on and you're going to come on and say, "No, I'm not going to retire." And then the next day you come on and say, "Yeah, I am going to retire," or something like that. I think that's about
Yeah.
what he did
No.
in the last couple of days.
So
Yeah.
Andrew is a super awesome friend. Had a long career in motocross and supercross. I got lucky. I got lucky to meet him. I mean, it was kind of funny how we met. We just ended up at these different events, like riding kind of events in different places. Whether it was
Fun events.
yeah, fun events like Adventure Rider Rally. I interviewed him a couple of times, but he doesn't remember because I was a journalist at one point in my.
Oh, he remembers because when I met him, he told me he really didn't like you. He said something. Yeah, you know, I didn't.
Oh.
No,
I
this
didn't
wasn't
really
from
think
the.
much of
This wasn't from those
Jimmy, but
days. This was
he
from
was-
the other days. And it wasn't that I didn't like Jimmy. It was that I was uncertain of him.
Everybody,
Okay.
everybody,
Well, we still are.
everybody,
Yeah.
everybody told him what I was really like, and they might have been right, but they were
Funny
wrong.
how your charm comes up quite often when people are talking to you, like on the phone the other day, right?
On the phone. I don't remember this.
Somebody was talking about your attitude not gelling with other
Oh
people.
yeah, that's normal. They told me I had to have a better attitude. No, I had to be nicer. Matt, do you know about being nicer? I'm nice enough.
Define nice enough.
Wait, is your mic on?
Might be.
Can we hear Mike? Matt? Maybe I cut Matt off. Oh, how about that?
You did cut me off. Oh man. So no.
There we go. Matt's back.
I was gonna say you were super nice, but
You're not
you cut
dead.
me off on the show, so now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, you're not dead. I think that now I don't know. George really wanted to get the voice-o-matron going. So we're gonna run straight into questions. Hey Andrew, I don't know how much time you have tonight. I know it's a little bit longer. You're in a different time zone, and I was thinking you would be a really good person to have on for Rooster Endo because you're generally really, really nice, and we need nicer people on that. Because I think how was it? It was 5 out of 6 endoed last week.
Yeah.
It was
not good.
rough, and I haven't got the backlash that I kind of expected from that. But I got a question for you. Have you ever run a front disc guard?
All the time.
Not the plastic ones that protect the disc and stuff like that. I'm talking about like a billet aluminum one that's like heavy duty and it protects the front disc.
Yeah, like the bulletproof one or Topar.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies. So, do you run that?
No, I've never ran. I don't like the look of this.
Oh, you don't like the look?
No.
I actually told somebody that I could feel them when it was on the bike.
Yeah.
And what did I get called? A princess in the P?
Princess and the P. Yep.
Princess in the P, because evidently I can feel something that's ridiculous like this. So
Like reach down there and feel it.
no.
'Cause I believe you could do that.
Oh, I can reach
The
down and
rest
feel
is
it.
just-
Everybody that has one can reach down and feel it, but
The rest of that stuff you say is just artificial intelligence. That's all.
yeah, I don't know where it comes from. So anyway, so you would have to agree with me on it. It's just a point of reference that I can't not look at that discard, and then I start asking myself why they put it on, and if you have a really good reason. So I asked, did we get any photos? Did anybody submit any photos
Nope.
of a super dinged up, dented front discard? Because you know what your rear one looks like. You put them on your rear ones on your bikes, right?
My
Sometimes?
fronts are chewed up.
Your front discs.
The front disc guard. Yeah. Yeah. They take a lot of abuse.
Wait, you're talking about a
Especially on trail
plastic
riding.
one. You're talking about.
Well, I have a
plastic one.
carbon one. So this is how I know that it has a lot of abuse from rocks, from rock
Oh.
garden, riding in the mountains.
Okay, so you have a carbon fiber like the plastic kind of thing that goes off the fork and covers it.
Yeah.
Not like a shark. You don't have a front disc shark fin.
No, I don't have a shark fin.
Yeah, so like brush and stuff goes and touches that thing. But have you ever looked at a rear like billet aluminum disc guard or any kind of a rear disc guard?
Yeah.
It looks like somebody just walked up with a sledgehammer and started pounding on it.
Don't
Yeah.
try to qualify your hatred for these things. Let's move on.
Dude, my
Come
front
on.
is the same way.
Oh,
So you beat it
maybe
up.
maybe you need one. Maybe
Yeah.
you can change. Maybe you can change my mind about this. So, anyways,
He smashes through things. You tend to go around things, I think, right?
Jimmy's got skills.
I thought
But Andrew's fast.
he's precision. Andrew is precision, but he knows how to take the brain out and put it back here sometimes. And
Well, I remember the rim he had out here, front and rear, on that one rock, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
want to
It
call
just-
that 5 years of desert experience that he didn't have. Because like a guy with like, what do you call it, like spidey sense, like ESP, that you think that the guys that ride in the desert, because we ride here all the time, that we have, he like that spidey sense would kick in and just make you move the wheel a little bit over instead of just plowing it, because it ain't a supercross hoop. You don't try to tap them. You try to not touch him at all. So how was Dakar?
Dakar was a lot of fun. It was similar. I didn't think we went to the best areas. Typically in Saudi, if you go north, this is where they have the cool canyons and rock formations. But the beginning of the race was really cool in terms of the terrain. And then as we went further south, it wasn't, it was just a lot of sand and nothing too crazy. But overall, this is a race that's a lot of fun, a great experience, a great life experience. It's hard to explain to people the distances, the feelings, the emotion. And for me, the race, I don't want to say it was over on day one, but I put myself in a big hole on day one with a lot of other people who started up front. And from this point on, I tried to make up time by being steady. And it was okay, but wasn't great. And I was just happy to make it to the finish there towards the end. And this was a good thing for our team coming off of last year where they had some issues. And so they were really happy to get both bikes to the finish. And also for myself, I don't know if it's the last time I'm going to go, but you never want to ride that long and not make it to the finish. So I was happy to get there and to be home in one piece.
Yeah, and really big props to your team for getting that bike to the finish, because you had 2 in the top 10. And thinking about the tragedies of last year, you got screwed. You don't even want to talk about it. But to put 2 bikes up after having every single one break, I mean that's a tribute to all the durability testing you guys did, and Rally is wringing the neck out of a motorcycle, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my teammate had a lot of success. He navigated really well. His speed, I think, was average, but he was really smart and put himself in a great position. And as you know, Jimmy and Rally, this is the name of the game. And he did really good. Unfortunately, he just missed the podium, but it was cool for the team. And I'm not sure exactly what the future is with this, but for them as well, I think, they really wanted to make it to the finish. And after all the hard work they put into it, but this race in general is wild. It's not just like the bike stuff, it's the cars and the racing atmosphere and everything that surrounds it. It's a special race. I think it's changed a lot, obviously, from talking with people like you on how it's evolved, and starting in Africa, or the Paris to Africa, and going to South America, and now in Saudi, it's like a whole different chapter. And it's a really fast race, but it's more of a sprint now, and it's unique, but it's still really special.
Dude, were the first days like chocolate cake? It looked like it looked like, when we always want to go. Well, we for training we don't want to go to the sand dunes when they're like that, but we want to go there to ride. And when I saw that, I was actually, because I'm more about the race and the strategy and all this stuff, I was like, oh, this sucks. But when I saw you guys riding on it, I'm like going, dude, because I've been in, I've ridden across the entire Altar Desert in the sand dunes when it's like that. And chocolate cake, it's like you're on the moon. The cool thing about what I got to do and what you didn't is you guys kind of had to do straight lines. We were riding in these bowls, and you know how much traction there is in the bowls. You can literally turn the bike upside down and then correct and come. You can. It's like skiing on a groomer run, but it's powder because you can't powder that you can't blow it out. It's like you can set an edge super hard. And there's a lot of bank, like a really good burn.
So
And,
is that like moisture in the sand and everything, or it's just the type of sand?
What, they had more rain there than they had in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's crazy amount of rain they had, and the conditions were epic. And the first few days, the way the course was set up, it wasn't just straight roads and stuff. It was a lot of off piste where it was like freestyle, but also the roads they moved side to side, so it had a really cool flow. It was almost motocross um, uh, terrain in a sense, and the style of it. And after the first day, I was back on the results, so I started further back. And there was actual ruts and jumping through the dunes, and it was really cool. This was the most fun I had the whole time. And so, yeah, it was pretty epic. Not great for navigation, but I don't know. It was cool. It was, if it was always the same, it wouldn't be so unique. And this is what made it really cool at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, but it's hard in a race when you get to have that condition. I mean, it's nice that you get to have that condition, but like you sit there and there's the pressure, and so it's a little bit tough to enjoy. So, Matt, do we have any good questions on the chats for Andrew?
Yeah, I was just pulling that up right now.
Yeah, you can throw it up on our screen here, like that. Cut Andrew off. That's fine. Well, that works.
Okay.
And we will see what.
Yeah. So.
All the questions here.
So Trevor wants Andrew to come race 24-hour.
Oh, yeah, your offer, if you don't have a gig, Trevor Hunter at Dirt Bike Test will hook you up on the factory dirt bike test ride at the 24-hour. I know you shot him down last year, but he's keeping coming back.
Yeah, I've done this race 5 times and I haven't had much success. So I don't know if he exactly wants me.
Trevor
on his
won last
team.
year, right?
Yeah,
Trevor won last year. You could have been on the winning team.
He was on a Yamaha FX too, right?
I think so.
I think so too. That's
I
what it has
forget.
on Dirt Bike Test. Yeah.
Yeah,
FX.
I forget. It's kind of crazy.
Hey, Andrew, while they're looking for a decent question, is Saudi someplace you'd ever go back to with your family just for the scenery and touring or anything? Is it on the list or?
I think there's other places that are higher, but I think I have a lot of respect for Saudi and I feel safe there. And I know some of the people, especially my team being French, I feel like they have a negative perception from their news. And for me as an American, I love it there. I feel way more safe going there than I would, like, say, going to Mexico. And I like the culture and the train. In terms of riding a dirt bike, it's really fun, and especially the northern part of the country. And this is where, if you say, would you take your family? If I was going to take my family somewhere, I'd probably go skiing or somewhere here domestically and do something like this. For me, if you ask me where I want to go on a vacation, it typically revolves around a dirt bike. And Saudi was really fun. I would say it's better than Abu Dhabi or Dubai, like this area, just because of the rock formations, and they have a little more elevation changes and stuff like this. It's definitely not South America. I think South America was more enjoyable to ride a dirt bike, but it's definitely a more Wild West feel in terms of from the hotels and transportation, from the time you land and all this. But it's amazing how much Saudi's transformed. I've been there 3 times, and the first time I was there, the city didn't have near as much entertainment or like the malls and infrastructure, restaurants. Now it has everything, and it's really nice. It's like a nicer version of Vegas in a sense. And it's crazy to see how
without alcohol.
Yeah, Vegas without alcohol.
And all the women are all covered up.
Yeah. But to see like the F1 track and all this infrastructure that they built so quickly, and the design aspect, it's a high-end country. They're obviously spending a lot of money. They're really focused on sport, which is something that I think is great. Obviously the politics is not something that I'm super educated on, or, I know this can be political, obviously, our different opinions, but I feel safe there. I think it's good for the race, and it offers a great platform. And without this country, I don't think it would be is great for rally in terms of the sport and motorsports in general. I think they have a lot to offer, and I think it's cool, and we need to be appreciative of this.
Yeah, when I saw them go, when I saw they wanted to go back, I instantly got on Google Earth. I'm like, okay, how big is Saudi and where does it go and what do the deserts look like? And I was so stoked, and it wasn't just a giant sandbox, which is Dubai, UAE.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a giant. It's literally a sand dune. The whole country is a sand dune. There's a couple places where there's some rocks, but not much. But I started looking at the terrain, and they got some mountains and all this stuff, and it did really remind me of Africa in a lot of ways. They just don't they don't have to. Well, they do kind of move pretty far. I mean, sometimes the support teams go pretty far, but they kind of take them someplace and they stick them there for a few days. But like those long days for the support teams, those would be like a normal day in the Dakar, the old African Dakar. And I know South America was different because there was so much population and stuff. But there's something about the desert. I'm glad they got to go back to this because that's what I remembered, and I think that was kind of the spirit of it. And I mean, South America was kind of a necessity because there was a lot of political wars going on in North Africa, and these countries are it's difficult. It's different. I saw somebody had a question for Andrew up in the thing. Slide that sucker right back over. What is Andrew's most memorable rally stage in his career? Asks Kyle McCoy.
I hope everything goes good. I think Kyle's coming to see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, he's coming down.
Hopefully, yeah, he does.
He's a road book making donkey right now. He says he's no good at it, but he claimed the dog didn't need his homework because I think there was like, hey, we'd like to check this thing out. So yeah.
Yeah, I started on the same road book that he's doing that you sent me, but yeah. My most memorable was the first one, going from Peru to Bolivia and Argentina. There was moments where I was on my on the bike, and I was mind blown. Felt like I was in a movie or something like this. I saw things I never expected to see. Going down sand hills, that felt like I was skiing down a mountain that were never ending. And I felt like if I crashed, it would be bad. Like I was scared, like I would never stop tumbling for a long time. And
there were dunes that were that steep.
Yeah, like you're just riding through dunes, and all of a sudden, that it'll have an arrow on the tulip, where you go down, and literally you would go down for like two kilometers, and it was steep. There was moments like this where I was almost scared, and you never see something like this.
And is this Peru or Chile?
This was Peru. Getting close to the border.
Yeah,
over there
I rode there once, but we were doing another rally, and we didn't go up in those dunes, but you could see them. They didn't look like dunes; they look like mountains when you look at them. Because here you look at dunes and they look different, but there they just look kind of like mountains. But yeah,
no, these were mountains, but it was just like a sand spit going down. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was crazy stuff like this, and it was at times I least expected it. And so this is why I'm really happy I got to ride a Dakar there, a real one, because the second one I did in South America was just Peru. And this was completely different. Also didn't have the same feel. And we would go there for other races. But that first one was something I never expected. And something that I'll never forget also, just because of the terrain, the people, the cultures that I saw. It was completely different than motocross or supercross, and seemed out of this world, And so this is moments in my life that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I've always said that's the best thing about my motorcycle racing. Is it took me to a lot of places in the world that I wanted to go. I mean, tons of places, and a lot of places I didn't want to go to. So I've always said I've been every place in the world that I want to go. Mongolia is the only one that I haven't really been to, and it's because it seems a lot like this really awesome mix of deserts and not so much mountains, but golf courses. It's like the whole terrain is like a giant golf course. I remember Heinz Kindergartner telling me, he goes, Jimmy, it's like a golf course, all grass, no stones. And I'm like, I want to go there. And I saw this down in South America. I saw it in Chile. On southern Chile, there was an area where we had the big fire, and they did this. And we went and we made a giant grass track in this field, and we were doing it like we didn't think there was anybody around. Our guides just said, you can ride anywhere you want. And we went out and made this huge grass track. because there was a gas station somehow close by, and that was the biggest thing, is getting to gas. We were riding around, and all of a sudden these people come over the hill, and I was sitting there, riding around. And I could tell people were coming. There's more people. Finally, like the elder from the town kind of came over and started talking to our tour guides, kind of like, no, like that. And I go, oh, we're in trouble. We just wrecked the hills. And they were mad because we were doing it there. They wanted us to come over and do it in their village. Like they wanted us to do it in the right in front of the houses, like literally
Like an expedition.
like through the houses. Don't do it here. Come and do it here. And it's just there isn't the bad perception of motorcycles. And so we ended up riding around there, and they gave us some cool food, and we got gas there and all this stuff. And I remember them saying, we're like, yeah, you don't care about this? Like, no, it's so good when you ride there because it makes the grass grow better next time.
I think what's cool about Mongolia is they do that horseback thing with a goat's head or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's some kind of game they do with some goats.
Did you get to race Mongolia?
Yeah, I've raced in Mongolia.
Yeah.
There's more animals than people. So wildlife is definitely a danger when you're on a motorcycle going fast. But yeah, it's a really cool place. I've done this with the Silkway Rally. It went from Russia to Mongolia, ended in China in the Gobi Desert. And this was a really cool race also. And now, you look at the news now with the whole Russian-Ukraine thing.
Oh.
And it's pretty cool that I was just in Russia, not that long ago. And it's probably a place I'll never, ever get to go to again. And I've got to see a lot of this country as well. Talk about rocks. There's a lot of rocks and forest in Russia. But Mongolia was cool, and the people and the culture, and see the riding was nice. It was kind of like southern Colorado in a sense, without the rocks, like what you're saying, with the mountains and elevation and the pine trees and stuff like this, but and a lot of water and rivers and stuff. But it's a cool place.
Yeah, river crossings, and I didn't grow up doing this,
Yeah.
so I always hated it. My bike, the engine would be underwater. Luckily, the air filter was up on top of the gas tank, and I was like, if I tip this thing over, it's gonna be ugly. So I'd like wait for someone else to come and go through first. That was my thing. So
What's next? You got any races coming up or anything you're doing? Local stuff or
Nope, I have no
work on the farm?
Yeah, tomorrow I need to wash as many bikes as possible because we have a freeze coming to Texas, which rarely happens, but it seems like this is the month that it typically has been happening. So if I can get all those things clean, then I have a lot of bike work in the shop that I've been putting off.
oh, nice. And how's the kid doing? Is he like pumping the clutch, slipping the clutch a lot, like wheelies?
Yeah, it's been too cold for him to ride. And I'm not too motivated to go ride after Dakar. So it's been it's a strange time. It's been almost 2.5 weeks since I've ridden, which is not normal for me.
I'm going on one of my longest, like not really going actually really riding things, just because I've been so focused on getting all this stuff done. But it could, I don't even remember, but it's been at least 4 days. So I feel your pain. Actually,
Yeah.
I used to remember coming back from Dakar, and this is how screwed up I am with the riding stuff. Is I just didn't want to ride a rally bike. I wanted to go to the motocross track, or I wanted to go out to the just desert and ride a small bike, or go on an adventure bike ride. And back then they didn't call them adventure bikes, by the way. There was no such thing.
Just call them pigs?
Yeah, it was just you were stupid to ride the street bike in the dirt. But I would just want to go do something different. But I learned that when you come back, that you can't go riding, or you shouldn't go riding, because you don't realize how beat up your stinking body is. Like all your joints and you just because you feel so good. Like the first day off the bike, you don't feel that good. And the second day, you feel a little bit better. The third day, you feel great, but you're not great. You need some rehab. So yeah, I understand that technique to keep it all together.
And you're sleep deprived. This is the biggest thing. I feel like just to get
Sleep.
caught up on sleep takes a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you sleep. Hey, what do you sleep in there? You sleep in a motorhome?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm not gonna give it to you.
I know
You
how
don't want
it
to hear
is
about
to me.
hear about my tent?
Yeah.
Underneath the wing.
It was
of an
made out
airplane.
of buffalo skins. It wasn't even nylon or anything.
It was a different race back then. I'll give it to Jimmy.
Kyle wants to know, will Andrew become a race director somewhere?
No.
No.
Wait, breaking news. Hold on. I just got a text. I got a text.
Yeah.
It's the next thing I heard is like Andrew is gonna come out here and him and Jimmy are gonna team up on doing adventure riding tours, and he's gonna be the director of that.
There you go.
Breaking news.
Breaking
That's
news.
not happening.
This is the worst part. Like you say,
could-
like I have
you
no
could-
job.
You could
So
kick
now
Johnny
everyone's
out.
trying to like volunteer me for jobs.
Find you work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
I got something for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
but it's-
Welcome to
you
my
can't-
life. I'm not looking for work either.
Good job,
George didn't do anything for me today. He pulled the tires. He parked his motorhome trailer thingamajigger, giant fifth wheel here, and he parked it, put it up on jacks, and took all the wheels off.
So somebody can't
yeah.
steal it.
No, he's like moving in, and
Good
he
job.
didn't wash any bikes.
He calls me. He says, "Hey, you prepping the flat track out there?"
Yeah.
You know, and I said, "What's in it for me? I'm not riding today."
He didn't prep the flat track. He didn't. He like there's no bikes got washed. He didn't help with no mechanical assistance, no tire changing. I mean,
Well,
how
you're
you
in
g-
here. I came in here and you're there hammering away at the computer screen. I'm not gonna, So I went
my,
and took a nap.
I'm trying to be the most efficient that I can possibly be. Yeah, you can like that Johnny Campbell guy. We can just push him aside on the tour business. You can slide right in.
Nope.
Because on
Come out here for the
February-
schools and wash the rental bikes after class, Andrew. That'd be a good job for you.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you have to start by crushing cans and sorting
Yeah,
out the
sorting the
plastic from the
aluminum.
aluminum. That's where you start. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah,
February-
send all
Feb-
your aluminum and cans to Jimmy Lewis.
Johnny has
to
it. Johnny
support
has a
the
two.
group.
Hey, this is what you can do. Johnny has a 2-day ride going on Valentine's Day, and I know your wife needs to get away. She's been working her ass off, so
Yep.
maybe you guys can come out. I'll put you on some Yamahas. I think I got. Do I have two Yamaha? Yeah, TTR 250s.
Yeah.
Except for the one that Logan left the battery, the Keon. So I got some bikes. You can go Blue Crew and go on a tour for Valentine's Day. That would be the best thing ever.
That's perfect.
And your kids can flat track here. I'll watch them.
Yeah, he's all about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, hey Andrew, thanks for coming on.